Okay, so the plane just came out of annual. It's good to have it back. There were a few convenient things that kind of started to just kind of crap out there towards the last few months before the annual, but since they weren't required for flight items, I deferred the maintenance until annual. The airplane was all taken apart. The big thing is my fuel flow indicator there started kind of dying back in November, and then it was working intermittently, and then by the end, before the annual, just pretty much wasn't working altogether. It would occasionally come back to life. Had that repaired. It's still being still needs to be calibrated, but that should be working now. And the other thing is the pitch servo on the autopilot would occasionally not lock in. It would always check out fine on the ground, but then you get up into flight and you'd engage pitch hold, or I'm sorry, engage altitude hold, and the servo would do nothing. It was just wasn't even engaged, and that typically means the pitch servo needs to be overhauled. So that was overhauled. I did a quick test flight this morning. Well, there's the third thing. The third thing that was the big thing, and the reason why I'm flying today or right now is I had a adjustment made to the flaps. A number of years ago, an adjustment was made to the flaps, and that caused the airplane to want to roll to the left, made it roll to the right, and it caused it to fly with one aileron higher than the other, and it kind of bothered me, and I never bothered to have that adjustment undone, or partially undone anyway, so the ailerons are symmetric. So I had that done at this annual, took it out for flight this morning to start retrimming the ailerons. So I did a trim adjustment. Now I'm about to go out and fly it again to see how it goes, and if necessary, I'll do as many takeoffs and landings as needed to get back out and adjust those things to get them adjusted back in. But it's important for me to do that within the next few days because I'm taking off for a big trip down to Louisiana at the end of this week. So with that said, talk to you in the air, and later I can show you what all the I hate that bump. I can show you what the trim adjustment's all about.
16 Delta Romeo, you can make a right turnout, remain outside the class Bravo, runway 5 left, clear for takeoff.
Right turnout southbound, remain clear to Bravo, Mooney 16 Delta Romeo, clear, takeoff 5 left. Full power, engine instruments are good, airspeed's alive.
And 43755, departure will be waiting for you. You can contact them on 118.95. Talk to you.
Okay, 1895. Thanks for the help on that, 755.
90 and flaps up. Pumps off. Monroe Custer traffic, Mooney 16 Delta Romeo, 3 northwest on a 45, left downwind 3, number 2, Monroe Custer. Fuel downwind, gas on full tank, fuel pumps on undercarriage. Down, mixtures going rich. Props going full forward. Belts are on, all switches are on.
Urbana drive.
Custer traffic 180 Mike here, turning to the left crosswind for runway 3 Custer traffic. Custer traffic 180 Mike here, Arizona downwind for runway 3 left downwind. Custer traffic.
So still definitely wanting to roll to the left, so it needs a little bit more aileron trim. Fuel flow indicator needs another calibration adjustment, so we'll stop the airplane, do those things, and we'll hop back in, fly it again, and see how those adjustments work. I'll show you about calibrating the ailerons when we get stopped up here. So here we are in lovely Monroe, Michigan. Need to retrim the ailerons, as I mentioned. They're a little bit out of trim. So how we do this is, actually before I get that, there are no trim tabs, but the maintenance manual, what they have you do is retrim by bending this little flat part of the trailing edge along the aileron. And that's what makes it difficult to get right. It's hard to tell how much you've bent it. It's hard to tell if it even bent, to be honest. The manual suggests doing it with a set of sheet metal pliers, which is basically pliers with a long enough area to grip the trailing edge of the aileron. I don't have sheet metal pliers, but what I do have is a vise with rubber padding on the grips to keep from messing up the paint and other things. So this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. The key thing is you only bend down. You can never bend up, so that's why we're adjusting the right aileron. If we're rolling to the other direction, we'd be adjusting the left aileron. So I'll do a couple more bends, we'll hop in the airplane, and we'll give it a shot and see how it went. Custer traffic, Mooney 16 Delta Romeo, departing 3 westbound, Custer. Sprints are good, airspeed's alive. On 64, and there we go. Positive right, gear coming up. 90, flaps up. Alright, so fuel flows off just a little bit.
Lima traffic, Warrior 56786 on a 5-mile final for runway 28.
And ailerons need just a little more bendy bend. It's not too bad. A lot better than it was this morning. Monroe Custer traffic, Mooney 16 Delta Romeo, departing runway 3 northwestbound, Monroe Custer. Alright, engine gauge is good, airspeed's live, there's rotation speed. Positive rate, gear coming up. 90, flaps up.
back, all hold short instructions. Advise on extra contact, unit information. Zulu. We're on tower information, Zulu 2353, Zulu.
We're on tower, Mooney 16 Delta Romeo, 10 south, full stop with Zulu.
Mooney 16 Delta Romeo, Willer on tower, enter straight in, runway 5 left, report 3 miles out.
Straight in 5 left, report 3 out. Could you long approach on this one?
Confirm, expect long landing.
6 Delta Romeo. And that's it. After that last little bendy bend, it's flying pretty much straight. Ailerons are good. Fuel flow looks good. I'm ready for the trip to Louisiana. More on that later.